At the age of 14, I became pregnant. I thought I knew everything at that age. And I had a beautiful, healthy baby boy. Thought I could raise him on my own. But at the age of 14, I wasn't even old enough to get a job to afford diapers. So my parents ended up raising him. They took him in so that he would have a better life. It's a joy for me to know that God used my son to reach out to me. So I knew I was saved, but it was Jesus Christ that died on the cross to pay for my sins. And now I know that I am saved by grace through faith. And I have that gift of free salvation. When I was a kid, my parents and my sister and I, we went to Valplay Ebenezer Baptist Church, and I did that altar prayer because the other kids were doing it. And I thought I had to do it too, and thought I was saved, which I wasn't really even old enough to know what that meant. And then as I got older, I got to where I didn't want to go to church. I was going to stay home by myself. And I went a few years without going. So I was kind of in, off and on. At the age of 14, I became pregnant. I thought I knew everything at that age. And I had a beautiful, healthy baby boy. Thought I could raise him on my own. But at the age of 14, I wasn't even old enough to get a job to afford diapers. So my parents ended up raising him. They took him in so that he would have a better life. And then I moved on, got married, and 2 more kids, had a rocky marriage, a lot of verbal, physical abuse off and on. It took me about 15 years to see the light that that just wasn't life for me. I had to get away from that. Oh, about 10, 15 years ago, I was having a bad day, and I started praying to God, and then that prayer led to asking Him to be my Savior and all, but I just didn't really feel anything. But I thought I was saved that whole time. And I started watching CPR Missions and some other preachers on YouTube. And um, uh, one night I was watching this young man witness to another young man on there, and I felt like he was speaking at me. And before the video was even over, I was on my knees praying God, asking to be my Savior, and it was real. It's the best feeling I had ever felt in my life. I felt like the weight of the world had lifted off me. I felt new. I was so happy, and I was excited to tell everybody. And I've really been trying to study the Bible, trying to learn what I know some of the verses, but really can't tell you what chapters or whatever. I'm working on that. And let me say that young man that was the founder of CPR Missions is that baby I had at the age of 14, my son. And when that boy was young, he was the meanest little fella. And I tell my mom, what am I going to do with him? He's so mean. I can't take him nowhere. And she said, you know what? Sometimes the meanest ones to grow up to be the preacher man. God used my son to reach out to me. I got saved that night. It was real. I felt the weight of the world lift off my shoulders. I'd never been so free. I don't even listen to the same music I used to. And it's a joy for me to know that God used my son to reach out to me. So I knew I was saved, but it was Jesus Christ that died on the cross to pay for my sins. And now I know that I am saved by grace through faith. And I have that gift of free salvation. And I want to do what I can to please Him. And I've been trying to reach out to people on social media that seem lost, hurt, or whatever, to glorify God, to bring them to God. But there's no way, nothing I can do that can compare to what He's did for me. And I give Him all the praise and glory.